Everything all at once.
Welcome back, episode 97 of Revisited, and we took our little break from mini Mark month. You guys still don't deserve us, so we should take another week, but this was the videos we were gonna do before the Mark month, which are I Didn't Like Everything Everywhere All at Once and Everything Everywhere All at Once, the most overrated movie of 2022 so far. I know Gavin loves the people that say, it's the best of the worst so far, by Addy Lovestar and You Want It Harsher, respectively. I've never heard of either one of these people. Of course, when we are looking into Revisited, we do a little bit of it. We hear roughly 15 to 20 seconds. And I don't remember what they were saying.
I don't either. Because it was so long ago.
I am very afraid that the I Didn't Like Everything Everywhere All at Once might be so I didn't like it, I loved it. That's the only, I'm worried about an okie doke. Literally the only thing.
But the thumbnail says fine, I guess. So I don't know too much about that.
We'll see. Dude, I'm telling you, I just rewatched this. This movie is tremendous.
It's crazy.
I can't believe how good this movie is.
It's really good.
And I don't know what it is about me, but when I don't know if I'm just like emotionally disconnected, like just analyzing it, watching and enjoying it at the time, and then on second rewatch or on the first rewatch I'll go, oh, this is an emotional moment and I'm getting emotional, because the same thing happened with Coco. When Coco happened, I was just like, this is a very good movie, I love Coco. Then the second time I started crying at the end scene. With this one, it was like when she's talking about when they're going through everybody's thing, just like love will set us free and blah, blah, blah. Go get your raccoon and stuff. And I was just like, I'm getting emotional at this. I know what happens.
It's the difference between getting the information and processing it in the moment and knowing what's happening so you can just get all of it.
Yeah.
Instead of just like, I need to remember what happened before, after, during, all this stuff. She's like, no, I know what's going to happen. Now I can just be in the moment.
I wonder if it's a quasi like anti-hype beast thing where it's not so much I'm not allowing myself to, you good there?
I know, it's just wrong.
It's not so much I'm not allowing myself to get hype or sad or whatever, but it's just like it's not happening for me, even though I recognize that that's what it should be at the moment. But again, tremendous movie. It was my movie of the year last year, and I can't give it enough praise. Legitimately can't. It's winning everything rightfully. And because of this, I feel like we should go through the I Didn't Like Everything Everywhere All at Once first, because it's harder to argue against I didn't like something versus I don't think it's good or it's overrated or what have you. So we'll do that one first. The Addy Lovestar, Everything I Didn't Like Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Hey, don't worry about description.
Cool.
Don't even worry about it.
Don't even... another one of those, just follow me on thing. Yep, let's just get into it then.
Everything Everywhere All at Once, or as I'll be calling it, Everything Everywhere, is a sci-fi drama comedy about the meaning of life, or lack thereof, and what it means for us as humans. It stars Evelyn, our primary protagonist, who runs a laundromat with her submissive and devoted husband.
Is there a point to this?
The synopsis part?
Yes.
For people that haven't seen it, I guess.
Then what are you doing here?
If you're just giving a rough overview of something, I feel like you can, because it'd be like a half in the bag before the spoiler part. Like, do I think this is worth my time of watching? So give me a rough overview of it. Tell me what you thought about it. Tell me some good and some bad, but while trying to be as vague as possible.
Have you ever gone to YouTube and
not knowing of
a movie, not knowing how you feel about the movie, watch somebody go
having a bag all the time?
That's not fair.
All the time.
That's not fair, because they are them. Well, I watch them do anything, so it's not fair.
But then there are times where I'll get in. I can't, you know what? Now that you mention it, I don't think I've ever gotten interested in a movie watching them talk about a movie. because most of the times the movie I'm interested in, I'm gonna watch anyway. Like Barbarian, they did a review of, and I was just like, whatever. And then I saw, it wasn't even in pertaining to them. It was just, it came across my radar, and I watched it. I was like, I love Barbarian, and then I watched them talk about it. I don't, so maybe you have something there, but it's also not fair because we are not typical with our consumption. We are not the casual viewer.
Sure.
There are people that will watch an anime analyst talk about an anime they have never heard of strictly because they like that content creator. Now, whether they get into it or not, like Totally Not Mark. People were in his One Piece reviews. Oh, I got into One Piece thanks to you, Mark.
Absolutely, completely fine. But that's him going through the thing and going, here's all the good parts. This is a review. This is what I thought about the movie. But first, let me give you a little bit of a synopsis about what the movie's about.
But I feel like all reviews do that. Written, video, whatever.
Yeah. And I'm going to get it. Just because other things do it don't mean I'm going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, you're cool. No.
I am totally fine with it because if you're just coming in for a quick spoiler-free review of something, a quick synopsis to get you interested is perfectly fine with me.
While the two of them take care of her demanding father, Gong Gong, Evelyn is a stressed, overworking business owner with everything to prove to herself and her father. She needs to be good enough for him, she needs to be good enough for herself, and she's afraid that life has passed her by, that she's missed her chance at everything beautiful and meaningful it has to offer. After all, she lives in a small, cluttered space, is being audited by the IRS, and is married to a goofball. It feels like everything in the world is on her shoulders. Her anxiety and stress...
Okay, now it's getting a little long in the tooth. That's why I said a quick one, because this is a 7-minute video, and you're spending a seventh of it on synopsis. It'd be like doing an hour-long review, and you spent 9 minutes on the synopsis. Like, no, that's just too long.
Has caused her to behave in inappropriate or negligent ways, such as ignoring her husband's pleas for attention and affection, refusing to acknowledge her daughter's girlfriend, and just...
Oh, that scene was so sad! Oh, man!
It's such a good movie, dude.
It's so good! There's so many like little moments where I'm just like, oh man, it's the every person type of thing where they got zooped into the closet and she's just like, I gotta go out there and get this. It's like, no, the universe is like, no, but the laundromat. It's like, I can't handle this. I don't know about all this universe. I gotta go out there.
And it's so interesting how little she's willing to blame herself for the things that's going through her daughter. Because it's just like, you're the reason she's doing this and thinks she's gay and stuff. It's just like, how can you not accept this? It's such a good movie!
And just, she wants life to be easy and straightforward. Wants answers without all this endless confusion and complication. At some point, she starts viewing her whole family as complications in her downward spiral. This affects everyone around her naturally, but
yeah.
This is why.
No, again, I disagree when it's quick. I am with you on this part now because this is going far too long. We're coming up on a minute and a half. This is basically in 20% of the video.
It affects her daughter, Joy. Joy is emotionally distant, so much so that she's practically from another culture now. She can't connect with her ignorant, busy mother, and in general she feels like a failure, like nothing matters. It's a brilliant setup for a dark comedy drama about nihilism, what it means, what it does to our psyche, and how love, kindness, and open communication can cut through the emptiness.
Are you happy we didn't mention the frame, Triton?
Inconsequential moments in our lives. But as soon as Evelyn heads to her IRS appointment, it immediately becomes clear why this movie got such a wide audience. It has goofy action scenes, a wildly fantastical science fantasy premise where our characters traverse the multiverse, and boatloads of self-referential humor.
Hey, why isn't multiverse of madness praised because of this?
Because it's got all that.
It's got all of that, but it's not a good movie. That has all of it, but it is a good movie.
How about this is just well written and people recognize the fact.
This feels like he wanted something else, because it's just like, this is a brilliant setup for a nihilistic dark comedy about it, but now it's a goofy action multiverse type thing.
So all that stuff is undercut by the hot dog fingers. Okay. All right, next video.
It's so funny. He went through all that synopsis and we're complaining, and then he gives like 20 seconds of analysis and we're like, oh, we got the video. All right, cool.
I didn't really care for that, and it felt like a really hard left turn. All these scenes about explaining how to jump between universes and reality-bending earpieces and junk just detract from the simple drama the film was so good at.
No. It's still a drama. It's just a little bit more complicated now. And the drama still gets stripped down to it with all this fantastical stuff. It's just like, I would have loved to have just owned a laundromat with you and did taxes. Give us a chance. Even during the donut scene at the end, it's just like, stop, Mom. Why can't you just stop and let me go? And she's just like, you don't call me. You can't just blame me for all of your problems. But regardless of everything that's going on, there's no place I would rather be than right here, right now with you. And I will always choose that. Regardless of the fantastical stuff going on, the simple drama is still there of a mom doing the same thing that her father did to her daughter.
And the mundaneness also helps, because we've seen this guy just be this down, just goofball person. Then he hops up to this. You go, oh, it's the intrigue, the mystery. You can go, yeah, the drama, but the drama's gonna come back. It always gonna cycle back to that drama. The drama is not just off to the side forever. No, it all the stuff just informs the drama.
He was such a good character. I love his speech. We're just like, we just gotta be kind to each other. Stop this fighting bush. Oh, I love him.
What am I supposed to understand about the characters from this purse fighting scene, or this paper cut scene, or all the scenes with
that he would do anything to help unlock her thing and defeat this person?
And I'm going, does every scene have to make you understand what's going on? Because on the second watch you go, okay, he's doing this for these reasons, and what's not to understand about that? In the moment, yes, there's that big mystery of what the is going on,
but by the end of it, you should recognize,
you go, okay, I get what the is going on.
On top of that, you watch a drama or something. Does every scene in a drama inform you of something about the characters or the plot? Or is it sometimes just expanding upon what you already know, or setting up a plot and or character moment that will later be a revelation?
Hey, if he doesn't do the paperclip thing, she catches them everything's up. So he must do it. There's tension there. What's the problem with the scene?
Sci-fi universe jumping exposition. They're cute, sure.
No, it's exposition, but it does inform the audience of the things they need to do so they can do those things. So when we see, oh, that's why he ate that chapstick, because now we know that that's what allowed him to jump. So when it happens later on in the movie with Evelyn, we don't need to be told again, oh my God, why are you doing this weird thing? We know as the audience.
And then we can go, okay, what happens if she doesn't do it? Or she does it wrong.
And she does do it wrong in this scene, and you're not locked on. So we know why to do it. What happens if you fail to do it and still try to jump? We know all this information.
But they don't really service the themes, and
no, they don't service the themes.
Well, the themes of what?
of nihilism and whatever the else she
She's
said.
constantly like, "You're crazy. I don't want to do this."
Yes, she is. Just in that room closet where she's just like, I can't handle all this universe.
Sure, but they don't really service the themes, and they seriously bloat the film's runtime. There are
Okay.
How long is it?
219. With credits, about 2 hours. That's a movie.
That's a movie. Did you just want a 40-minute short family drama?
Again, dang, what was I about to say? Let me hear what he said. Oh, that's what it was. You're not explaining what those themes are. So how are we to gauge that it doesn't inform or service the themes if we don't know what themes you're talking about? Why did you spend a minute and 40 seconds on synopsis instead of going, all right, quick synopsis, here's some themes you can gauge from the beginning of the movie, and this doesn't inform those themes. Hey, even if you think a theme is a theme within the first 15 minutes, themes can shift. It could be you could think the theme is about hard work, but it can actually be about classism by the end of the movie.
Seriously bloat the film's runtime. There are a few times where the goofy sci-fi connects on a poignant metaphysical and allegorical level, like with the Everything Bagel, a bagel with literally everything on it, and when you try to comprehend everything at once by staring at that bagel, it collapses in on itself, and you're left with this dreadful feeling that you're insignificant, that nothing matters. At least on occasion, there are highs like that. I can't say the same for the fight scenes, however. At least, I don't think there's anything allegorical about this junk.
Do you need allegorical?
This is incredible.
Holy... So everything must inform something else.
Or tie into a theme or an allegory of some sort.
Holy crap.
I just want to protect my family. So I'm going to be an opera singer / sign waver.
Hey, she's sacrificing potentially everything to try to help her daughter.
To save her daughter, because she could have just cut her throat.
They were like, hey, you can't be hopping like that. You gonna go nuts. And she does it.
And it helps at the end with her daughter just being like, you see the things I see, because you keep jumping, you could be like me. So it helps connect them in that aspect, but she needs to change, Evelyn needs to change, and her daughter needs to change, but her daughter can't change until Evelyn changes, and these things help Evelyn change, because she sees how great her life could have been, and how hollow it still feels. How she has probably her best and most happy life right now. So she will fight to protect that.
No, but this fight doesn't have an allegory.
There's no allegory to this junk.
No, there's no allegory to this fight. So boo.
Dude.
This is nuts.
This is crazy.
This is clearly just, I wanted something, but I didn't get it. I either didn't get it or I didn't get enough of it.
I can't. Now, I always say that you can't really go into a movie with no expectations. Because even if you just see a poster, you have some expectation of the film. Even if you hear the title of a movie and know the genre, you have some expectation of a film. But to basically write the movie in your head before you watch the movie and then go, it's not the movie I would have written,
or
so I didn't...
Based on the first 10 minutes or so before the hopping stuff.
So I didn't like it. I can't grasp that. Because I had no idea what Ready or Not was about. I just knew it was some hide and seek horror thing, but it was actually a black comedy, and I loved it. I didn't try to write the movie, I wish it was creepier, like in the beginning. No, it turned goofy, and I was like, this is fantastic.
They made a Yakuza Like a Dragon video.
What is it called?
Oh, what's it called, by the way? Oh, good question.
What is it called?
Lazily written and poorly paced.
How long is it?
That is about 7 minutes.
How do you condense 50-hour RPG into 7 minutes?
Like this.
This can't be. What do they like?
That's what I was looking for.
Because that's incredible that there's no allegory to the fight, so me no likey.
Now, people on the Discord, y'all shut up. Y'all shut up.
About what? What do they have to complain about?
They like My Little Pony.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that explains a lot.
What?
But I don't think every moment of My Little Pony informs the character or the allegory or something.
Really
like when they're fighting the big, dark, reverse world dude, I don't think it's just some...
Discord.
I don't think it's just like, oh my god, the fight means...
People look into it like that.
Okay. But that's not... Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
This is crazy. This isn't even a turn your brain off type of thing. It's you are straining your brain to find an issue because you're not able to connect something to something else.
Anyway, they're trying to do this clever thing, right? Where the idea is that you think so much about the universe and all its possibilities that you lose sight of your humanity. You start to believe nothing matters because there's no magic or soul or inexplicable numinous essence of life, and it's all just variables. It happens to a lot of real people, leaving them depressed and lost. But the film ironically does a disservice to its own goals by taking a sci-fi approach.
It's everything that you wanted, but just couched in a sci-fi bubble. It does all of these things. It tackles all of these themes. It addresses everything that you want. But it's just like, it's sci-fi though.
He must love like those coming of age. Let's take a trip across America and just find ourselves movies where basically nothing happens except the characters interacting with each other. Because you can still have all of those, because all those themes and those things are here. It's just in a sci-fi wrapping, and you're like, well, the sci-fi makes it bad because it does a disservice to it. Please, I hope he explains how it does disservice and not just
4 minutes.
Yes. And not just, it's sci-fi, so no good.
The goal of Everything Everywhere is to convince the audience that, yeah, sure, nothing matters. It's all just relativity and statistics and all that. But you can still love anyway. And being kind...
How do you know that's the goal?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Was there an interview or something?
It's one of the things where it's the theme thing where you gotta extrapolate. This is what the movie's trying to tell you.
Couldn't it just be appreciate what you have instead of longing for what you don't? Not, you can still love even without all of this stuff. Can't you extrapolate both of those things and still come to that conclusion?
Everything matters. Instead of nothing matter, or nothing matters much that everything matters.
Every moment matters because in the end, nothing matters.
And being kind is particularly important when you...
Dude, what a great scene where he's just singing and sweeping up and she goes and he just starts crying.
It's a stupid good movie.
Dude, it's such a good movie.
You were confused and stressed. More important than ever, which is a great theme, I think. It gels almost perfectly with my personal philosophy to boot.
That dude. And I wanted my personal movie out of my personal philosophy. Mm-hmm. This is a great movie, dude.
This is just, I didn't get what I wanted from it. It would have been better without the sci-fi stuff.
Without the action junk.
How were the themes not serviced because of the sci-fi stuff? Hey, please explain that.
Dude,
it's that simple.
You know I don't give a about cinematography, but my God, some of those shots, this is crazy and good.
To get there, they stapled the theme to a sci-fi fantasy epic. There's a fantastical, surreal, bombastically Hollywood explanation for everything that's hurting Joy and Evelyn. Sci-fi gadgets, explosive fight scenes, chosen ones, and all that jazz.
She wasn't even a chosen one. She was one of like 40,000, and she just happened to be the one that got there.
Is this a problem?
Yeah, what is the problem here?
You're saying that it is. Yes, it is. But is it a problem?
What is the chosen one trope? Is it simply you're one in a trillion?
I think that's
okay. Then yeah, she would be a chosen one. If it's like yeah, I guess.
But I vastly prefer this version of it. You're the best because you're the worst.
Yeah, you suck so hard. You're not good at literally anything, and because of that, you could be molded into anything. As opposed to I have this magic power that's just better than like Asta being able to negate magic. Like that's just a power that hurts literally everything that usually can't be hurt, as opposed to this, you just super suck. But again, Asta's kind of like that, because he just super sucks, and because of that, he's able to use the thing.
Is in the face of the film's morality.
I'm sorry, what?
That jazz. This flies in the face of the film's morality. I thought...
No. It doesn't, because you still have those things like that big old action scene with the shield, where the morality is, do you kill essentially multiverse Hitler, or do you do your best to save your daughter and let whatever consequences come? There's still morality within the film.
The old man, it was just like, morality there.
Why was it so easy for you to let me go?
It's all there.
And that even ties into the ending where she's ready to let her daughter go, and then she's just like, no, you don't call, you don't do none of this. You gotta understand that you take some part in this as well.
I hoped for most of the movie that all this excessive fantasy nonsense and over-the-top explosiveness was just happening in Evelyn's mind, that she was trying to cope with everything, everywhere, all at once by receding into an internal space where she is the chosen one.
You wanted a sucker punch?
Yeah, that wouldn't have been good. I don't see how that... It was all a dream. Oh, yeah, now she's just back here. I'd be like... I would rather have this, and I don't... Maybe they'll explain why it would be good.
In 2.5 minutes?
You know it.
Sacred duty to defeat the evils of nihilism and to prove objective meaning, only for her to eventually understand that we make our own meaning. It makes sense, right?
No, you're just wishing your depression away. That doesn't make sense.
Hey, I'll be better. Hey, you know what? I thought about it, and no.
I've just been sitting here for 2 minutes, and now I am a better person.
It's DSP. Like, no, I beat my depression. I beat my alcoholism. I
drink a little bit. I play a little mobile games, but I beat my addiction, so I can do that in moderation now. Because
no. I'm sorry, but just daydreaming a big fantastical multiverse hopping fantasy and then just going, it's all good now. How would that be good?
Shown in the film to love vivid daydreaming, and highly stressed individuals often resort to fantasy like this to work through their mental issues. But no, it's all real. This goofy stuff is actually for real happening
Why
in the universe.
would that have been good?
Yeah, he's really not explaining why that would have been better than this. He's just saying the word goofy.
Yeah. Like, that's the point. It's
His entire point is this is goofy.
And I think that kind of blows. It also brings up...
Why does it blow, sir? Come on, tell me why it blows.
a lot of questions that aren't sufficiently answered by the already insufferably large amounts of exposition, most of them involving the Chosen One nonsense. And really...
You didn't even explain it!
No, I was waiting. I'm like, all right, here we go. We can talk about it. They're going to bring up like 3 different things, and we can talk about those 3 things because they've got 2 minutes left. So I'm like, oh, they'll mention those 3 things, and then they'll move on to the wrap-up of just like, it's not a bad movie. It's not a good movie, but it is a movie. Whatever. But no, we didn't even get that.
This is crazy terrible.
That's why I always say, give me 9 hours of a review if you've got 9 hours of stuff to say.
Yes. Don't
give me a 9-minute video when you ain't got to say.
When you got 3 minutes of stuff to say.
Experience for me. Everything Everywhere is as silly as it is sentimental, and there are a lot of beautiful things it says.
But isn't that dichotomy interesting?
Yeah. It's a seesaw where it can be as dramatic as it is funny.
As it is silly or goofy. And it can weave in between them seamlessly.
Main dude is a freaking awesome dude. And then he's also just this weenie. But that weenie is also, he's got his morality of just, hey, everybody stop fighting. We can do this.
This is how I fight. With my morality, with my goodness, with my kindness. And we can all fight each other with kindness.
Life. We make our own meaning and everyone's scared all the time. But that doesn't mean we can't still love one another. Sure, the more knowledge we have about the universe, the more insignificant we seem, but we can still use that knowledge to aid one another, rather than wallow in despair. We're in this together. Very touching. Exactly the sort of thing I love. Could have done without the kung fu slapstick, phenomenally poor pacing, and avoidance of realistic consequences.
This is the first time that they've mentioned the word pacing.
Realistic consequences like what? She was literally in handcuffs before the person she assaulted said, take her out of the handcuffs. I'm dropping the charges. We don't even know if the audit was good. What consequences are you talking about?
Well, we'll never know because we got a minute and a half.
Like, you know, Alpha Raymond dying. The husband she wanted dying and realizing, no, the husband I got is the good one?
It's so soft-hearted in its delivery. I can see the concessions and...
Soft-hearted in its delivery?
What is hard-hearted in its delivery? You got plaque in your heart of a movie?
I was about to look up hard heart, but I'm like, no, I don't want to. No. I'm not just go get some heart surgery video. Like, it's the hard heart surgery. It's like, no, I'm good.
Safe search on.
Even then, sometimes they leak through.
Yeah, like, it's educational, so it doesn't count.
Like, no, come on.
Its delivery. I can see the concessions and writing conveniences and obnoxious exposition meant to make this appeal to mass audiences.
Writing conveniences? Where? When?
Unrealistic. Like, again, the audiences weren't receptive to Multiverse of Madness. It has all these things, but it sucks.
It's certainly not as bad as Free Guy.
Is he talking about Free Guy suck? Is he talking about my indie movie is sold out, so now I'm mad about it?
That could be
Indie band got popular and now they suck.
That could be
even though the music is the same, even though this movie still delivers the same stuff, the same themes, and
it just didn't do it the way that I wanted to.
It didn't have a 13-minute jam session at the end of this song, so it the suck.
It did the things. And they didn't talk about like what the problem was other than the fact that it was simply goofy.
Didn't talk about the themes, talking about the pacing, didn't mention the pacing throughout the video. Talked about the non-consequences. Didn't talk about the lack of consequences throughout the movie. Just I wish it was in our mind. This could have been a tweet. This could have been a twit longer.
So many videos that could have just been tweets that we've seen.
Still well overstays its welcome.
Dude, that flew by! I was watching and I went, I know this is near the end of the movie, but that can't be right!
What do you mean overstayed its welcome? What could have been cut? And we're done. And tasteful fade out.
Howdy. Hello. You there. Yes, you. Did you know that you personally, right there, you, can fund my love? Figuratively speaking. You can literally buy an expression of that love, though. You see, I have a Patreon with 4 sparkly tiers, all named really cute and fruity things, because I like being a fruit. And speaking of Patreon, there are several lovely patrons who are already signed up. Patrons I will list for you now. My wonderful supporters are I Pompous, Anonymous, Jay, Marth Sinclair, Call Me Haley Anderson, Waposa, Mike Hunt K. Storkson. So much for your time and thoughts, and I'll talk to you soon.
I don't understand.
-8 for me.
Yeah, that's about right.
And only because I wish he would have explained more, and he just refused to. I don't know if they're he, she, or they. And if I'm wrong, I'll be corrected at some point.
See, because because some people do have it's a she. We've been misgendering. Canceled.
Yeah.
Get Lily in here. Apologies, we didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
it wasn't a malicious misgendering, which I think is the issue. Yeah.
Yes, it's just I don't know how she could be doing this for so long, because this goes
and that's the crazy
years.
part, because you'll see all these content creators just doing it for so long, and it's just like, how do you not understand that at some point you should probably explain the issues as opposed to just saying the issues? It's like if you were writing a script and you said issue 1 is this, and then you got the bulletin points under it that you should be talking about, and they just erase that bulletin point and just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You gotta go. That's why it's just constantly, as I'm writing my script for this video, I'm just going, have I explained myself sufficiently? And I don't know if they have that thought, and if they're just like, yes, I have. When I say that it's goofy, when I say that the pacing is bad, yes, I've explained that.
I don't see how she can think that, because, it doesn't tie into the themes. The themes of what? Because the only thing you really mentioned is nihilism, and that permeates throughout the movie. So I can't imagine she thinks she's done enough. I can't imagine.
By putting it out, I believe that she does think that she's done. Are you putting out subpar products or things that you're absolutely proud of?
There have been AMVs I haven't been proud of.
Absolutely.
So I think there are people that are going to put out subpar products and just go, I feel like this is good enough stuff. And I think I can't say I think she does that because I don't know this person personally, but...
And Ichiban is not the only person guilty of this, not by far. Horribly lazy this was, to have character where Ichiban tells someone his life story. Someone who already knows his life story. So who is it for? Just the audience? Did it not occur to them how horribly lazy this was, to have characters just spill all their trauma out like an ornate fountain in the dead middle of the narrative? And Ichiban is not the only person guilty of this, not by far. Almost every character in their very first appearance demonstrates everything you need to know about them. Like a Dragon wants to be morally complex, but its morally gray protagonists and villains are all so upfront about their baggage that it's impossible for me to be genuinely curious about them. This is not...
What about all the bar scenes where you get the information about these characters?
Yeah. What's wrong with getting a good feel about the characters from their first appearance?
And I don't think even everybody does that with their first appearance. Because I don't think the cop did. And definitely not Nobunaga, if I remember his name correctly, the homeless dude. Because it's just like, okay, I'm looking for Namba. I'm looking for, who's Nobunaga? Oh, Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm looking for my family, and it's just like, well, I was a double agent.
Yeah. And then the last two people, weren't they villains that came into the party? So how do you get there? And again, the totality. They all just do this. Do you have examples? Or are you just saying that they all just do this? Or almost all of them?
This isn't... I don't know.
I also don't know.
We can't do these pony people.
Pony people have a way of speaking and thinking. But I say that as a pony person. Don't attack us.
But at the same time, you would think that with your way of thinking and speaking, not so much speaking because there are poor speakers that are good thinkers. With your way of thinking, you would be able to put pen to paper to go, let me explain the things I'm just saying.
Especially considering My Little Pony it's not that deep. There's some stuff in there.
Yeah. I feel like everything has some stuff in there.
But people look very deeply into it. And the fact that they can do that, but then go here and do this, it's like I just don't understand it.
But
as a pony person, I'm a person.
I think she's looking too deep into it. To the point where, and maybe that is part of the pony person mind, where they're looking too deep into it. Because she goes, this sci-fi junk is just mass audience thing, and it hurts the overall narrative it wants to convey, which is of nihilism, and it's still free to love yourself and all of this stuff. Maybe she's looking too deep into it.
Yeah, it's like a door, and they just sort of took a sledgehammer and put a hole in the door, and then they're looking through that hole and like, where's the door? It's like you're looking at the door, but you're looking
through the door.
Through the door. It's there, but it's not there.
Yeah,
you're looking for something that's
literally
there.
Forest for the trees. All right, so we move on to our next video.
Goodness,
which is Everything Everywhere All at Once, the most overrated movie of 2022 so far. When was this video released? Actually,
I will tell you when I find it. 9 months ago, it were May 29th.
What the okay.
We do got a description.
Hey, description boys. No, shouldn't have done description boys, it looks like. Should we have not have done description boys?
This might be the joke video, and I don't...
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I don't like it.
Oh, no. The okie doke.
I don't even want to... Morbius is a 2022 American superhero movie based on the Marvel Comics character Morbius. And they just go the whole synopsis for Morbius and then like and sub if you're Morbin.
Did they mix up their description?
No, because the tags are Morbius sweep everything, everywhere, all at once, and Morbius.
Were they trying to get people to look up Morbius and find
this
them?
This is the funny one. This is so funny, y'all. Y'all, it's so funny.
I don't want to be funny.
y'all don't understand. This is so funny.
All right, we got a movie. It's called Everything Is All at Once in My Ass All of the Time.
All right, never mind.
Yeah, I don't want to do this.
Never mind.
I don't want to do this.
See y'all later. Wee woo.
I don't know about you, but when I saw that title, I just about puked myself. And then I said, oh god, this is gonna be some rancid indie quirk garbage, isn't it? But then it comes out and I'm hearing shit like, dude, you gotta watch this movie. It's a revelation. It's the second coming of Jesus. So I'm like, okay, all right, you know what? I like Death of Dick Long. I thought Swiss Army Man was pretty interesting. I'll check it out. So I go and I see it, and what do I find? Another $15 wasted on some overhyped bullshit. Okay, I'm fucking done, okay? You guys have been recommending me so much retarded shit lately. I'm sick of it. I could not stand Teton. I was bored by The Power of the Dog. I was shat on by an...
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care about the audience that you've cultivated giving you
recommendations that you didn't find. Again, why don't you read the description, look up a trailer, and go, all right, this seems like it would appeal to me.
You've reviewed one of these 3 movies. Nope, 2 of them.
There you go.
Maybe that 3rd one as well. Maybe I'm just wrong. Cut that part out.
Night had maybe one of the worst screenplays I've ever seen adapted to the big screen, and then this year I get reamed by the characterless, unoriginal Robert Eggman ego trip that was The Northman.
Talk about the movie!
Dude, this is the complete opposite of what we just went through.
I don't know what these things are.
Totally fucking blue-balled by this. Fellas, it's time to stop. So now you're asking, Jacob, why...
Maybe we're just too old for this.
Disagree.
You think you disagree?
I very much disagree. I feel like if I were to show this to Corey, he would not find it funny.
Corey's not old enough.
You mean young enough?
Nope. I said what I said.
Then Eric.
He's too old.
So it's got to be that middle ground, that 2 year difference.
Yep. There's that sweet spot where you just go, filthy Frank, poorly chroma keyed, big voice noise, haha.
You're such a stuck-up, pretentious bitch. Why can't you just sit back and enjoy a movie for once? Okay, I'll tell you. When most people go and see a movie, they aren't looking for anything all that specific. The idea is to be broadly entertained or offered some kind of heavy, emotional, or thought-provoking experience.
Isn't that? we both raised our hands like, wait, those 2 things, they're like the opposite, man. They're like not the same thing. They're either looking for complete entertainment or this big thought-provoking thing that changed their life and their
emotionally resonant,
and it changed their outlook on life, and it changed their life and makes them a better person. It's one of the 2 things.
I hate that we both said, isn't that? And we both raised our hand.
My goodness.
On a broad level, that's exactly what Everything in My Ass offers. It has humor, it has family drama, it has expansive thematic scope while still tending to the emotional needs of its human characters. It has all this crazy kung fu action, people getting beaten to death with dildos. It's got a Ratatouille parody with a raccoon. It's even got a parallel universe where people have hot dogs for fingers, and that ends up
When I first saw that, I went, dang, that is a really good Randy Newman impression. And I was like, why did they get Randy Newman for this? For what purpose did they get Randy Newman for some of the best in the movie? I love Ratatouille. She seen too much.
But she seen too much. You know what we gotta do.
Man, you don't know the joy I was having when I found that they made a full in song from that Now We're Cooking. And it's great.
They made a full song. Oh my god.
It's a full in song. It's what is some of my favorites in the movie.
Fingers, and that ends up possibly being the most emotionally effective alternate reality in the entire film. So yeah, no surprise, honestly, that people are so enamored.
God, I love that scene with her hand.
I love this movie.
There's so many good things about this movie. But we can't talk about them because they're not talking about anything.
So yeah, no surprise, honestly, that people are so enamored by this. But what about me, the reviewer? What do I look for in a movie? Well, it's simple, actually. All I want is to be compelled to watch it. Every film ever starts
Pause. Isn't that what you said the audience wanted?
Legitimately.
So you're no different than the audience.
Okay.
What compels you?
Why do you watch anything if you're not compelled to watch it? Whether for the good, the bad, just to know about it? Because there's nothing in this world I watch that I am not compelled to watch on some level. Unless it is strictly like that 12 movies thing where people recommend 12 movies. But even then, everything
look up synopsis or posters.
Because people are like, I don't know how many movies you watched or you've seen these movies, so I'll give you like 4 of them. And I'll go, okay, that looks like the most interesting one. Put it on the list. People recommend manga for us all the time, manga and anime. I'm not going to put a manga on my list that I'm not compelled to read at some point.
The only time that I think of watching something that I'm not compelled to watch is when, like, in the middle of the night, like when we were like 12 or 13, waking up and just like, oh, Zoids is on. And it's
Speed Racer.
You sit there and just sort of look at it every now and again and you're trying to fall back asleep. That's
a blank canvas. Unless it's a sequel or adaptation of sorts, you arrive at the theater with no preconception of the film's character.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do. If you watch the trailer, if you look at the poster, if you read a synopsis.
Word of mouth that you've said that you've gotten. I don't see how you can walk into a movie theater completely blind with no conception of what's going on. You look at that poster and you go, wow, there's a lot of stuff going on. And you look around and you go, that in raccoon? And yes, it's in raccoon. And it's the best in the movie. But there's
hot dog stuff is the best stuff in the movie.
Shut up. But you look at that, you can't walk into a movie like this with no, unless you just walk into sight unseen, nothing knowing about it.
Yeah, if you go to the movie theater, it's like I'm gonna go watch 2 movies. That one and that one,
and you just don't know what they are. It's no way to walk in with none
way.
It's impossible. Going, hey, that actor, I know that actor. That actor looks good. This trailer looks good. This trailer looks bad. The effects look good or bad. Whatever it is, you're going to have some sort of mentality. The title is stupid. That's going in with some sort of preconceived notation.
What could that title possibly mean?
World, you are simply staring at a series of moving images. If I show you a character slap another character for no reason, you will think negatively of the slapper and positively of the victim.
No, you won't.
Because you don't know what's going on with that.
I think what caused the slap? What is the reason that character is being slapped? Because if a character, if it's just say a female character getting slapped by a male character, it could have been that she killed his son.
Yeah. There's a big difference between a 3-year-old slapping a 30-year-old and a 30-year-old slapping a 3-year-old. If I saw a 3-year-old slapping a 30-year-old, I wouldn't be like, oh, that 3-year-old. There's a story here. I wouldn't just go, oh, that dude. I'm like, no.
Slapper, bad, slappy, good.
You go, okay, somebody did something to make them slap them, but not something that made the person want to stab the other person, punch the other person, kick the other person. No, a slap. A slap is a very specific thing. Why did they want to do that? I wouldn't instantly just judge somebody just going, okay, bad. I'd be like, no, what's going on here?
Now our canvas has some substance. If I follow through with a scene of the victim punching the slapper, now we have some progression. But we've evened out our empathy for either person.
Not necessarily, because again, what are we looking at? A 7-foot tall man and a 4-foot tall woman? Are we looking at equal heights? Are we looking at because the aggressor is now the punch person, and the punch person does something way worse than the slap person. Did the slap person do something first, or did the punch person do something first, and the slap person was retaliating against
was
the
it
punch?
what is a push into a slap into a punch?
Was it words into a slap into a punch? What is this?
This is why you can't just go, oh, this is the positive person, this is the negative person. Which is why so many stories have those types of things where they flip it on the head, where you think the hero is the good guy, but they're the bad person. Are we the baddies?
I see all these skulls in black and suits. Are we the baddies? Is one of the best deliveries I ever. Are we the baddies?
Outcome, if nothing's at risk, they'll just keep hurting each other into infinity. If I have the slapper then draw a gun, now we have stakes. Stakes are absolutely necessary.
No. You can have stakes with punching because people can be punched to death.
Yeah. You can have somebody just go through dental work and that punch is messing up their teeth.
Okay, you can say, oh, they've got a gun, so there's stakes. But what if it's Superman? There's no stakes. What if they're bulletproof of some sort? What if they have super speed of some sort? There's so many variables to this slap, punch, stakes, gun thing that you can't just look at a blank canvas, see 3 images and go, oh, there's stakes now. Punching is stakes. Slapping is stakes if you... This is
a mentality I don't necessarily agree with.
For a story to feel compelling, as without them there is no risk that the characters run for any of their decisions. Without risk, you lose any sense of progression, and without that, you simply do not have a story, or at least a story that you have any reason to watch. If the slapper then shoots the victim...
What is the risk of a slice of life story, for the most part?
Very little.
What is the risk of Comey can't communicate? That she doesn't get 100 friends? But what does that end up meaning? She's just sad at the end? What is the risk of a story like that? But they are super popular. They are super good.
Arcs like the race.
Yeah. Oh, you're catching up now?
No. What? I was talking about the race with the fire girl.
Oh,
My second favorite character.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
What? How dare you? She's amazing!
Dude, it was literally 3 years ago.
You want me to go in there and get the manga that I got? Because I got it.
Of course you do.
Because it's her. Because she's the best.
And now her little sister.
Yeah. It's her.
Yeah, okay. Great. Glad to hear it, DA.
Ports their consciousness to an infinite number of other versions of themselves, then what exactly are the stakes here?
They didn't do that because when Alpha Raymond died, he died!
That individual is now deceased. They are not transporting their consciousness. They're sort of getting the consciousness and the experiences from the other person. They are still who they are. Unless they hop over to another universe, which is very rare. And even still, that person can die. Like when she hopped over to the universe where they were just like, no, we left that place and we're just sitting outside in a parking garage. Not the parking garage. I think it was like a parking lot or something. But no, she is still that person. And if she dies, she dies.
Anytime the slapper and victim get into a fight, is there any reason for us to feel tension or suspense from it?
Yes, because either one of them can die, and that version of them is dead. Because Alpha Wayman, I gotta keep, Alpha Wayman is dead.
Definitively, factually.
This is the overarching problem that I have with the film, and multiverse films in general. What exactly is at stake here? That
Black Widow is dead!
That Black Widow is dead and still is dead to this moment. Gamora's back.
But that's not our Gamora. That Gamora is dead! And they didn't bring Gamora's consciousness to her dead body. They brought a whole different Gamora.
Did you not understand or see the movie? Or are you just simply looking at it as Gamora died and Gamora's back?
It wasn't like there were 30 Evelyns fighting the villain. It was one Evelyn getting the skills of other Evelyns. And they all kind of felt what the other one was feeling when they were connected. That's why the singer stopped. That's why the sign maker stumbled.
Jobu Tofu villain guy will destroy the multiverses? Do I care about this broad notion of multiverses? No, since there is no human, no lifelike character for me to offer my empathy to.
You just showed the googly eyes, which was in the beginning, and it paid off here. where she just goes, I could fight you all and get you all and kill you all, but no. Peace, love, give you all what you want.
This is
Wow.
again goofy.
The short round guy from the Alphaverse. Sorry, you mean the exposition dump guy? Yeah, I don't care about that. What about the real quote
Pause.
unquote?
So, we need exposition because this is a very concept heavy movie.
Yes.
So we need that exposition. How do you give it? Well, there's a guy who's versed in it because he basically made it.
In these moments, Evelyn is the stand-in for the audience. She's getting explained these things because she needs to know about them, and in turn, we are learning about them.
What's the problem with that? How do you better give that exposition instead of just going, exposition dump? Give ways to improve that, and we'll see if it stands up. What, a scroll? What? I don't understand how you could better deliver the dialogue other than the person who's trying to help the person that's going to save all the multiverses.
Potentially save all the multiverses.
Versions of Evelyn, Joy, and Wayman. If any of these characters are killed, there are an infinite number of them.
And none of their decisions matter because they're not the ones making... They are making the decisions! What are you talking about? We just happen to be watching a universe where their characters do make their given decisions. So they are making these decisions. These versions are making these decisions, correct? Which Evelyn is this that's not making the decisions?
If any of these characters are killed, there are an infinite number of them in the multiverse, which the Daniels exert no reservation in cutting.
No. If this Evelyn is killed, then there's a Kung Fu Evelyn that can't do the things that this Evelyn can do.
They've said this.
They have went through so many of these, and none of them have worked out.
There was no Beta Wayman just going, hey, I'm here now too. No. Alpha Wayman died, and then that was the end of Kung Fu Wayman stuff.
Hold on, Jacob, you in P-Brain, you forgot about the best part, the entire film, the tax lady.
Funny.
The actual suspense of the film rides on whether or not Evelyn will be able to pay her taxes on time.
I mean, part of it, yes, because that's something that she cares about. That's something that's important.
The only problem with this is that, well, it turns out not to even be a problem. It could be a problem. We don't know because it's not concluded. The way the Daniels resolve this plot line is by having Evelyn just so happen to exist in the one universe where the tax lady doesn't pursue action against her. No, it's the same universe, and it's because her husband used the kindness to explain everything to her, and she decided to give them an extension, not stop the audit, because they still go to the audit at the end, just to give them the extension. And maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't.
Why is this here? In the middle of it? Why not just re-record this? Okay, cool.
How about that for a Deus Ex Machina? That's not a Deus Ex Machina.
Yes, it is.
If anything, it's a plot convenience.
No, it's a Deus Ex Machina.
Also, I think he spelled pursue wrong.
And then as far as the family drama goes, the risk is, what, that Evelyn won't arc by the end of the film? If you actually follow...
Her daughter leaves, her father still hates her, and her husband divorces her. Their family is completely broken.
And
that's the
basically
risk.
all she has is her family. And
that's
then
the
she
risk.
Loses that. And then what? She's swinging by the end of the night.
The family drama plot, nothing happens. Her arc comes out of nowhere and isn't motivated.
It doesn't come out of nowhere. She learns from Wayman, from all her other lives. How's it not? The movie informs what happens here. What are we doing? I can't believe this.
Wow.
It comes out of nowhere.
Watching movies.
Mothers are not watching movies. Cause when Wayman gives his big speech, she goes, it's too late. Then she remembers all the fun and love they've had, and she starts learning from him that maybe love is the way to go instead of trying to fight your way through things. So when this finally happens, she learns that, hey, I gotta be nice to people. I'm nice to my husband. I have an actual conversation with the tax lady. I teach my daughter that no matter what, I will always choose this life where you are here and we are together. Because before then, she would not have done this.
Oh, that's fine.
Must not watch it.
Nah, it came out of nowhere.
Dude, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm fine with doing Revisited when it's clear that people are putting thought into a thing, even if too much thought into a thing.
But when it's just like, no, this is coming out of nowhere. It's like,
you don't understand the basics of storytelling, apparently.
It's been leading up to this.
It's so funny that he's like, oh, there's all this exposition and stuff. But unless she just says, I have changed as a person, apparently it just comes out of nowhere. Bro, I'm in my heart, I'm just gonna say this is a joke video at this point because I can't believe someone could not pay attention this hard.
Any urgency or inciting incident.
Nah, it's fine.
What, dude?
Nah, it's fine.
This cannot be possible.
No incitement.
Why did he think the googly eyes appeared and she started doing all that love?
Nah, it's fine. Wow.
Where she goes, I didn't want my daughter to be a me to her father like you did to me. And it turned out the same, but I'm going to be better than you.
What's the problem? What's the problem?
God, dude. How are there still 5 minutes left of this?
Oh, they're going to explain all they need to explain.
We've learned not 20 minutes ago.
The massive Deus Ex Machina that is the multiverse, here come those quotes again, plot. So that's the big issue with the film. If you felt like you were watching this, and even though the fight scenes were creative and...
What do people think Deus Ex Machina means at this point?
Something that's contrived, I believe.
Contrived and or convenient?
That's what I'm thinking.
Because you learn kung fu from one of yourselves
When
that learned
explained how this happened.
When they learned kung fu. Oh, that's a Deus Ex Machina.
No, they explained how this happened.
A Deus Ex Machina is something that comes out of literally nowhere. There's a Rick and Morty joke where at the end of it, some dude that has never been talked about, never been seen, never been shown, comes up and goes, come with me, cause I still love you. And Rick's just like, take the Deus Ex Machina and go. That is a character that has never been explored. That is a character that has never been seen. That is something that has never been shown or told. This has been explained, what happens, how it happens.
It's logical for it to happen.
And then we're doing the thing. No, that's a Deus Ex Machina.
Super well choreographed, and even though there were all these crazy ideas and character drama, but there wasn't any real tension to any of it, well, there's your answer. It's like listening to a pop song.
Yes, there was. Look at this right here. She could just kill her at any point in time. And then what? The movie is end. The tension is, this is an all-powerful person against our dumb little Evelyn.
Song that doesn't have a very good melody. It just kind of sits there. To cover some of the other issues I have, while I admire the madcap energy of the film and its ambitious merging of so many genres and ideas, I don't think it does any one of them particularly well. Like, if you separate everything, the sci-fi is pretty meh. It's like The Matrix meets Marvel or whatever. The family...
Dude.
Okay, moving on.
Dude.
Matrix meets Marvel. Moving on.
That stuff was great. Nope. When they had the split screen, it's just like, I'm thinking, and she's talking in Chinese to the one dude, and then in English to the... Dude! It's good.
No.
And he's just moving and pulling her.
No. It's Marvel meets Matrix. Moving on.
Okay, what's the problem with that? Why is that meh?
Hey, what's the problem?
And why is that meh?
Drama is like an okay, sappy, feel-good indie movie. The existentialism is about as juvenile as the Daniel's sense of humor. Also, quick note of...
Why is it juvenile? What makes it juvenile? Because at the beginning, she goes, no, bring my husband back. He needs to know how good my life would have been. And then she goes to that life and goes, oh no, this super sucks. I'd rather have my husband.
About that humor, I did not find a single joke in this movie to be funny. Now, maybe that speaks more to my sense of humor than the film's, but what I did find funny was that despite being a pro-LGBTQ film, this also has a crucial side gag making fun of how weird it is that men are sticking things up their butts. That was funny to me. Anyway.
It wasn't about being weird. They were trying to stop it so they wouldn't get the kung fu stuff.
It's not just about it could have been anything.
It's a gag, but it's not shown to be weird. It's no weirder than when he eats chapstick. It's not like, oh, look at this super weird thing they're doing.
Back to the genre blending. The only thing I thought the film did exceptionally well in that regard was its martial arts. This is actually a really good martial arts movie with some really exciting fight choreography. The actors, it seems, also did a pretty good job with all the physical stuff that they had to do. Then we get to the film's themes. I feel like the Daniels took the longest possible route to essentially just copy It's a Wonderful Life. It's basically this. This is how the theme more or less reads, okay? Are you ready? Be happy with the life you have and accept the other people in it. Dash it with some teenager level tangents about optimistic nihilism, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, so what do you want?
If you boil down anything into just it's about blah 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 blah, you can make anything sound as goofy or not deep as possible. I'm sure you can make Citizen Kane look like in Family Guy episode.
What's something I would love to talk to somebody like this, and it's like, what do you like? Okay, let's boil it down to just, it's just this. Now what? You've done this with Everything Everywhere All at Once. Do you see how easy it is to just be like, this could just be boiled down to its most bare bones? And it means nothing to just say that.
And this is one of those, the destination, blah, blah, blah. The journey to get to the destination is gripping, but you're not engaged in the destination. In the journey, because you just look at the destination like, it was just this.
That profound. But Jacob, it doesn't need to be profound. No, you're dumb. You ever hear the expression less is more? To go back to that blank canvas, if you add something to it, you need a reason for adding it, an end that it serves to reach. Otherwise, it just kind of sits there, menacingly confusing the audience. And by the end of the film, they're like, wait, what was the point of that? Why hot dogs for fingers? Why not rulers or thumbtack?
It's enough. There are so many times where people go, that's a nitpick. This is a nitpick.
Yeah.
Who cares what the thing on their fingers are?
That's not the point of the thing.
And even then, it's because there was a caveman in the Neanderthal days that had super long fingers that were hot dogs. Tacks weren't invented yet. But again, this is pure, who cares what's on their fingers? That's not the point of the scene.
It plays into almost nothing. It's the stuff around this. Yes, it could have been tax, but what changes? Change? Yes, it could have been rules.
Except you don't get the cheese gags of it.
Why do you have to stick an object up your ass in order to learn kung fu?
That's one of the points to do it.
Yes, because of not the absurdity, the probability.
Yes, the low probability of that happening, which allows you to jump to a point where you do learn kung fu. Because she learns kung fu by saying, I love you to a person. They learn things through paper cuts. Through stapling things to their heads. You didn't watch them. You were not watching.
Following a turtle statue give you better hand-to-hand combat abilities from another universe.
Same thing?
Dude, this mother did not watch the movie.
They explained this. They showed you how it
in works. All that exposition, you ain't understand what he was saying. Because they explained every single part of why this happened. Muv's not listening.
Muv's just not watching.
I really liked how Evelyn saying "I love you" to the tax lady comes into play later, with the two being romantically involved in another universe. That's clever. That had purpose. That was a motif. But what about everything else? Please comment down below and let me know.
No. That was just something that tied into another universe that just happened to coincide with what she said earlier.
Yes, it had nothing to do.
The paper cut has nothing to do with something that's going on later. It doesn't need to. Even that "I love you" thing didn't need to, but they brought it back. Just tired. Just tired.
It's crazy.
What the butt plug up the ass represents for the two henchmen learning kung fu. Haha, no, it's supposed to be random and absurdist. Haven't you seen Rick and Morty? I've seen Rick and Morty.
No, that's not what this is about, even though I mentioned Rick and Morty earlier. It is about what the movie explains, and that the improbability of what's happening allows a jump point to connect with that universe where you need that thing.
They said this.
I can't believe that he doesn't understand that it's not about the absurdity. Well, technically it is about the absurdity of it because it plays into the mechanics of the film.
You wouldn't get it. It's too high IQ 5, you fucking bozo. Okay, so we can just excuse lazy writing now because it's trying to be funny. Got it.
No, that's not lazy writing. They wrote what happens, what needs to happen, and then they did the things that need to happen.
Speaking of, the dialogue in this movie is fucking awful. I don't know how nobody noticed this, but there is so much boring exposition and
that you ain't understand because you not paying attention.
But it's not boring exposition. It's, you see like diagrams and the split screen stuff, and this is not really a tense moment, but it's a flashing light in the background, and it's like close quarters, and she's just in her own little world. And
Red Letter Meter said this recently, where it was like business versus something else. I can't remember what the other thing was. Where when you're shooting basically just two characters talking to each other, if they're just sitting down, it's the first thing, if they're just talking to each other. But if they're moving around doing things, then it's business. They're doing an action while talking, so the camera can cut between and still keep audiences engaged while it's talking. This is the biggest of businesses, because they're switching between scenes, they're fracturing things, they're showing you diagrams, they're moving and gesturing and punching through walls and
what more? Again, he says it is boring exposition. What do you want?
What would have made the exposition exciting?
Time it happened, I felt the pace grind to a complete fucking stop. How does nobody criticize this?
You mean like when they're sitting down during their taxes and he's explaining things? What's the pacing that's grinding to the halt there?
Things are happening. They're explaining things. The plot is moving.
I don't think people understand what pacing means. Because I feel like if it's not just going straight, I feel like they think pacing is cruise control. Mm-hmm. You're at 30 miles per hour. Once you hit 30 miles per hour, you should always be at 30 miles per hour. If you go down to 24 miles per hour, that's bad pacing now. If you go up to 34 miles per hour, that's bad pacing now. That's too quick. The first one was too slow. You must always be at 30 miles per hour. But no, you can have down moments after a high moment. That doesn't hurt the pacing of the film.
That's why I feel like when you use terms like this, you should define what you mean by it. Just so that the audience know, because everybody's gonna have a different meaning for pacing.
Not learn how to write subtext while they were in film school?
What do you mean? You thought her character change came out of nowhere.
He said pacing and then he went to subtext. What's this bouncing around?
years of Emerson and you two still can't write subtext? It's so on the nose. It felt like every line was something I read out of a fucking fortune cookie.
Such as
of this movie is so glossy and
Oh,
overdone.
moving
It has
on.
this phony veneer of plasticity and the perfect lighting, the perfect makeup effects, the Marvel-esque pacing and score. There were so many moments where I wanted it to get way more raw and lo-fi with its look and music.
I hate videos like this because they're just saying stuff like I wanted or it's boring.
I wanted it more lo-fi. What do you mean by you wanted it lo-fi?
What do you mean it was boring? What do you mean by this?
You mean like the donut? You mean like the donut scene? What are you talking about? When she's just walking down a hallway to Evelyn, a dark, dreary hallway.
Nope, that's perfect. And he said that's the perfect lighting. That's one of the things.
What is imperfect lighting? What makes the lighting here perfect?
Yeah, there's just 2 light bulbs on the right-hand side and one in the background for the left. Is that artistic? Does that speak more to what does it speak? The right side of the brain? Or the fact that they all have the little transmitter on the right side? What is perfect about this lighting?
But the Daniels are insanely keen on making the production as bombastic and loud and in your...
Is this perfect lighting right here?
What is perfect lighting?
What? Is this not lo-fi lighting? I don't know what he means!
In your face as possible to the point where it just becomes annoying. Half of the movie is its climax and it's just not earned. Without your stakes, all you have is empty spectacle with the most basic of basic messages. Why do we need all this multiverse garbage to dilute such a simple story?
Because she's learning a little bit from every universe.
Maybe that's one of the themes where a lot of things can mean one thing. It's a simple story, but it's told over the whole big old multiverse. But it all boils down to this one thing. Hey, isn't that beautiful in its own sort of way?
She rekindles her love for her husband in her most fabulous life.
I'd rather take an intimate, focused character portrait over this histrionic, flailing...
But that is what this is!
Yes.
It's just with a bombastic flair.
Or how about this? Watch that. watch one of them small dramas. Don't eat a pizza and just like I would rather have a burger. It's like, okay, eat a burger. What's stopping you from eating a burger? You can complain about the pizza, absolutely, but don't complain that the pizza's not a burger.
Weak. It's the difference between this and It's a Wonderful Life. Both have the same essential themes and similar dramatic narratives, but that film's patience and limited scope earns its catharsis, where the
patience and limited scope earns its catharsis. I agree, person.
What is the difference? What is the difference? How did he arrive at his conclusion that was earned and not out of nowhere where she didn't?
Hyperpop cinema shit show displays no such tact. If you want to watch the good version of this film, then I highly recommend you check out Don Hertzfeldt's The World of Tomorrow series. The first film, in just 17 minutes, covers a vastly more profound view of the universe using a similar brand of absurdist humor and emotionality. Or, I don't know, maybe you'll see something in Everything in My Ass that I did. Okay, I'm gonna be real. This movie isn't that bad. It's not good, but I wouldn't go as far as to call it a bad movie. Like I said, the editing is really great, and the kung fu stuff is a lot of fun.
Editing?
There's also some really solid acting, and I do find the characters to be mostly watchable. I just don't...
Why?
It's just so overhyped. You guys need to stop, okay? I know we're in a drought of good movies right now, but just because you guys see something that isn't completely generic does not mean it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. If you...
You said not completely generic, but you said all this Marvel Matrix bullshit.
Do happen to belong to the camp that believes this.
Yeah, how can you look at this and go, dude, this is boring exposition.
Then at the very least, when you recommend it, say something like, it's Cloud Atlas, written by Deadpool. Because then I know, like, what to expect.
What to expect? So you walked in with an expectation?
Fucking time.
So you want to walk in with an expectation?
Dude, these were terrible.
Yeah. Muffs can't talk about I don't understand it. It's the easiest thing in the world to go, hey, don't just say the editing is bad. Go
Or good.
Or good. Just show examples. And I know we do it as well, but we are talking. We are two people talking.
We're not editing a video to show the things we're talking about. It is so easy to just go, it spits in the face of its messaging when you have moments like this. And then show the moment like this, which would inform the audience of what you're talking about instead of just going, the flare, lighting. It's all perfectly lit.
Lighting. Like, what are we supposed to do with that? How is that a criticism? What would it be?
I want more lo-fi lighting. What are you saying?
Wouldn't imperfect lighting be sort of perfect in its own way if it justified a scene? Like right there where it was cut in half with the light in the dark. It's like, okay, it's not two similar lightings. It's not, what is perfect lighting? Dude.
I don't know.
It's a good movie.
It's a really good movie,
and I would be willing to listen to Muffs talk about why it ain't good, but they didn't.
I would be willing to listen to somebody talk about why it's not good and talk about why it's not good and not just say it's not good. Not just say, oh, the characters, you don't connect emotionally with them. Well, can you explain that? No, next point. Thank you. I'm not here for that. So yeah.
The comments are not kind.
I'd go 8.59 on that one.
Yeah, it's just the not saying anything that always,
and it's so frustrating.
And it's hard to say something is bad when they're not saying anything.
Yeah,
I don't know how they feel about the lighting other than them saying it's perfect. And like, okay,
I would have liked more lo-fi lighting or whatever he said. Like,
is perfect lighting bad?
Can you show me the type of lighting that would have been good for a scene? Like, take for example, Blank, the green room, where the lighting is, you see the harsh light of that, but it's still lit kind of poorly, so the character's face are cast in shadows, and it adds to the mystique of the scene. Something like that. Instead of just going, it's all this perfect lighting.
It's just...
These are our best ratios ever. Because these muffs ain't say nothing.
It's crazy. Muff in 3 minutes of a synopsis, and then just going, it's not whatever they said.
Yeah,
it's ambiance in fight scenes or something.
It's already gone, dude.
It's gone. They ain't say nothing.
There was nothing to grab.
How are you proud of something like that?
Are you proud?
But how do you put something out like, yeah, these people are gonna agree with me when I say there's not perfect lighting?
And I don't even know if it's, these people won't agree with me as much as I want to get my point across. Which, get your point across. It's all good, but get your point across. I truly don't know what you meant by 85% of you things you said, both of you.
It's the worst. It's a nothing video that they think is something. Talk Yosh if you gonna talk Yosh. Bring in references and examples and comparisons. Don't just say it's a wonderful life and that did it good, but this does it bad.
It earned its catharsis.
Explain why. Compare and contrast. Do something more than nothing. And this is a great example of just doing nothing. And it's infuriating.
Yeah.
Because it's the easiest thing to just go, it's bad because of this.
Do these people want this to be not even their job, but it's like supplemental income? Worthwhile supplemental income. Where they're getting, let's just say, $500 a month.
Well, Homegirl had a Patreon. So it's got to be some sort of money
I want this to fuel some form of income, which just informs me that you should be doing better,
the best that you can to get money that you think is worth
doing the work you're putting in,
coming in and giving their money and expecting something of you. It's the expectations of, I like this person enough to give them my money, and I hope that they continue to do a good job. And if they think that that you're doing a good job, hey, that's good. But do you think that you're doing a good job worthy of their money? I just don't understand the state of video making and crap like that.
The analysis is the crazy thing. Is our media literacy this bad?
I think that it's just the ease with which you can just record and put out a video.
But even with the ease of which, this isn't like a rap song where you're in a basement with a tube sock over a mic, just spitting whatever, and you can get 5,000-6,000 views just because the beat is good and you got a good hook. This is, I am trying to analyze a piece of media I just read, and I can't do that.
No, I can do that. Look, I did it.
But you're not doing that.
Didn't they?
No!
Didn't they?
What did the first video say?
Oh, something about a theme. Can't say I'm wrong.
No, that definitely happened. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna re-add that video.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna go to a random point, and I want you to tell me
Everything, everywhere, all at
what she said and what the next thing she says is gonna be.
That's not fair.
a fantastical, surreal, bombastically Hollywood explanation for everything that's hurting Joy and Evelyn. Sci-fi gadgets, explosive fight scenes, chosen ones, and all that jazz.
What's the next thing?
I ain't like it. This sucks.
This flies in the face of the film's morality.
The morality part. I was just about to say that, but you pressed play and you wouldn't let me
you know what?
continue.
That's fair. That's fair. Nope.
Soon as Evelyn heads to her IRS
Nope, that's a synopsis. That's not fair.
statistics and all that, but you can still love anyway, and being kind is particularly important when you're confused and stressed.
But it flies in the face of its morality.
More important than ever, which is a great theme, I think. It gels.
How was I meant to remember that?
You said something about themes before I even added it.
know.
All right then. So
But it don't matter.
I'm gonna play 40 seconds. Let's see if either one of us snaps and goes, I remember what they said there. I remember that part. Not the next part. Just I remember them saying that thing.
almost perfectly with my personal philosophy to boot.
I remember
But in
that
order
part.
There you go. That's all we
personal
need.
philosophy.
There we go.
Like,
And then we were like,
Yeah.
yep, I remember that part. Good.
to get there, they stapled the theme to a sci-fi fantasy epic. There's a fantastical, surreal, bombastically Hollywood explanation for every
Literally just watch this part.
Yeah, we got angry all over again. I'm like, what? What do you mean by? And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure we talked about that. Yeah.
Don't know what we're doing Saturday.
It don't matter, man. None of this matters.
And that's the theme of the channel.
It's the worst, though. I'm sick of it.
Yeah, no, it's frustrating.
Give
dude.
me a Dritz where he just talks his. But then
Dritz
Dritz also just,
no,
is just like,
Dritz does yada yada, but Dritz also talks his.
Give me that. I will greatly take that. Give me a Triggered where he just says stupid stuff.
But it's still stuff that you can talk about.
In wheelchair and AIDS and stuff like that. Dude, that's some stuff. Homies going to the bank. Analogies like that where you just go, no. Oh, where's that JoJo video?
Where he brings up panels of, I'm proving this to you.
that ass.
You're not supposed to emotionally connect to characters because it doesn't allow you to be objective.
Give me stuff like that. Don't just give me this nothing meme, funny, ha-ha joke bullshit.
This is trash. I'm so tired.
And then just trying to do stuff like, oh, you see a person slapping and then punching and then gun, and that's stakes. No.
That's, if anything, that's escalation. Because it could just be as simple as, if you slap that person, you will be arrested. So now the stakes are, you can't slap the person, or you will be arrested. Then you slap them, and you're gonna get arrested. Dude, I'm tired.
Yeah, I am also tired. As far as Saturday goes, Dutch was just like, auction stream?
I mentioned that, and you said no.
I don't remember that.
It was at the end of March, and I went, since we're going to take this week off, maybe we'll give y'all an auction stream.
You said we're going to give y'all an auction stream on a Saturday. I was like, off that.
Oh, the upcoming Saturday?
Somebody said something, and then arguments were had.
Okay.
Yeah. We could do something else. We could not do that. We
could do whatever we want. We could do that actual video games aren't fun anymore video we were supposed to do.
Getting cooked. Getting destroyed.
Hey, woke in video games is tremendous.
I'm sorry, it has one of my favorite jokes that I've ever said. Take this, you C-word, C-word. I listened to that again and I died.
Dude, again, we don't toot our own horns, because I'll say a joke you said and you go, I said that, and you'll bust out laughing because you don't revisit things you said just like, I'm so funny. There's so few things I'm like, dang, that was a good point, BG. Dang, that was so funny, BG. But there are some that just stick in your mind where it's just like, I gotta see that because that was hilarious. And that was a great one. Dude, there are just so few. Dude, I can't stop listening to Disjustice. I can't stop listening to, you're doing the series, A Disjustice. Disjustice, that justice. I can't stop listening to that. Oh, dude. Yeah, we're stalling. We're trying to give y'all extra time because
we out of here. We will Saturday we'll talk about that. Yeah. We still need to talk about the April Fool's stuff as well. We can do that tomorrow because I'm sleepy.
Really? 8:15?
This drained me, and I've been going to sleep early lately. I don't know what's. Last night it was a nightmare. I went to sleep at like 7, woke up, stayed up in. Oh, yeah, it wasn't tracking it right.
Oh, yeah, because I was trying to talk to you about what we were going to do for Revisited today or April Fool's stuff. Knocked on your door, opened it. You were I was like, dang, did he just take a nap? I feel so bad for you, but I guess you just went to sleep, actually.
I'll just be sitting there and just going to sleep. I'm like, I'm getting old. I don't know what's going on. It's just daylight saving times is what it is. I need to get acclimated to it.
Technically, we're supposed to be at 9, I think. Yeah. So that's a little weird for you.
If I can get them in 10-hour shifts, I'd be good.
They don't want to give them to you, huh?
I've been angling for it.
And they have them?
Oh, yeah. They're just like, yeah, you gotta show that you're... And I'm like...
What more do I need to show? Y'all basically advancing me every other week.
Legitimately. They're like, you're a month from another promotion. Like, no.
How about I'm a day from my 14th?
You don't know how much I'm angling for that shit. They're bringing in so many more people. I'm like, y'all got coverage now.
Yeah, there's no excuse.
I will work. Mondays are the busy days. I will work on that Monday. Fridays are the slow days where they send people home early. I will not work on that days. Give me Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Give me Saturday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Give me what? I just want them 410s back.
No.
But I ain't going to be there for much longer.
Really?
See one of them. Like I said,
You wanted the job that you wanted, and they ain't giving it to you.
And they're not trying to give it to me. They are going to have me in this position, and they're going to be like...
And I've never understood it. You're so good that we can't give you more. How do people get up to C-suite and executive level if they're not good enough for it?
Here's what they did. I've been training people,
of course,
since my second month. Mm-hmm. They'll bring in more people, and you'll sit with them and you'll listen to their calls and you'll help them out.
That's when you ask for the music and stuff.
Yep.
Did you get any good ones?
Oh yeah, quite a lot of them. Hands Like Houses is really, really good.
I love Hands Like Houses.
There was 2 of them where I downloaded basically the entire album.
Tell Me It's Ice Nine Kills.
Animal in Me. Animal. All of them. Scream Out Loud is very good. Hands Like Houses was banger. Get Scared were the ones where I was just like, this is it. I hate how much 65 Days sucks now.
Dude!
It is. I am angry.
I listened to a recent, I was like, who are these people?
Sucks. This is trash.
And it sucks because I got into the mood to watch the 100th video again, and I watched that and I was like, 65 is so fin good. No, they ain't.
Man, I'll listen to those 2 albums, because those 2 albums are
The Destruction of Small Ideas.
Yes.
And the other ones. Yeah.
Those are the ones where I'm just like, banger after banger after banger. And then I'm like, where's the bangers? Where's a banger? But anyway, like I said, they were having me train some dude. It was just like an older dude who's never been in tech before. He's got to learn all this stuff fresh. And it was just like, King, this is your project. You got to get them to the point where, because they have a test at the end of the day where they test them and just go, they do a mock call and they have this score chart of just like, here's all the things that you're supposed to do. You need at least whatever to pass, and then you'll be able to get on the phones by yourself. And it was just like, King, this is your project. You get him up to where he needs to go. And I did. And they were just like, all right, King, that was your test. Give it a month and you're going to be a senior agent. And I'm like, last person, the shortest time they became a senior agent was a year. This is 5 months.
You're doing it in half the time.
And they were just like, this was to see if you could properly train people. And then it's like, this is the next step to become before becoming a team leader or just a trainer, a person who just, the only thing that you do is training. It's like, you're moving up, King. I'm like, no, I'm not.
How about y'all move me down
How about
to 4 days?
Over. or those 4 days.
Would you stay for the 410? Even if they're advancing
I
you
would
in
stay longer.
If they gave you a 410 starting in April, that first week of April, you start with your 410. Yeah. Would you stay until August?
Yeah.
There you go.
I want those 410s. And that's being reciprocative.
Yeah.
Because my last job was not.
Clearly, I wanted a thing that y'all aren't going to give me. So I'm asking for another thing, and y'all still not giving it to me. You're just showing the level that you're not going to respect the things I want.
They're giving me, like, promotions and like that. And it's like, legitimately, they invited me to a Pistons game with the CEO.
Are you serious? Did you go?
No.
What?
I don't like the Pistons.
Yeah, you smooth with them.
And what?
And you could go to CEO. I'm a little tired if I had them 410.
What is he going to do?
He's the CEO. What do you mean?
We don't do the day-to-day.
He can push through. Hey, yo, get his man his 410s.
Here it is. It was just like, yep, here's the tickets. Where is it? It was like,
it's time to accept them now.
Sweet box.
You were going to be in a suite? What are you doing? I wish you liked sports.
I do too. Because I'm like, I would feel so out of place there. I don't like basketball. I'm not going to be sitting there in CEO like it's something like, it's just us 2 buds.
And then Eminem walked through just like, where's my Eminem? He had to pick this game.
Caviar, sir? No.
just somebody like grapes feeding them to him.
Like, this feels wrong.
I can handle my grapes, sir. But you don't need to.
So yeah, that's where it's just like, they got too much faith in me.
No, they have the appropriate amount of faith, but they're not giving you what you want. Because it's not like they're putting faith in you and you failed.
No, it is going exactly the way that they want it to go.
It's probably exceeding the way they want it to go.
More than likely.
So it's not that they're misplacing faith. It's just that they have the expectations and you're meeting them, but you're not getting your...
Never
be good.
Never be good.
Never be good.
80 to 83%. Make no mistakes.
It's hard to just be in a position. If it's a job you want and you want to advance in that job,
absolutely.
Do the 100. Do the 110. But if it's this is just a stepping stone to the thing I want to do, that 80% is tasty.
You do you pull it back, but
yeah.
No, we will.
Dude, I feel like
that's not.
So I have an assessment for a video editing job, and I passed the first assessment, which was to do 2 minutes. Now they're like, all right, you're at the second assessment. Do the full 7-minute video, and then we'll set you up with a phone interview if you pass that. And I'm just like, are they just trying to get a free video out of me? And it's worrying me because I'll show you.
No, I understand. It's like they could just be like no, and then they do that to 10 people. They got 10 7-minute videos.
Yeah, and it's just like final assessment. This last step before our interview to complete.
Is it a reputable company?
Oh, absolutely.
Because the last one you were just I'm in there for like 60K.
I was in there, but they hired too many people.
Oh, and then they were just like,
yeah, they just cut people. And so yeah, because I've gone through their things. They're basically only hiring 2 people, so this isn't and it's paid at just $15 an hour. So this isn't what.
I see a red flag.
Which one?
We can really see you being part of our
family is always the red flag.
That's like oh no, you don't want to be talking about family.
So it's like, all right, do the full video, and then maybe. So I'm thinking of this is for a rent assessment or a rent management system type thing, and they do YouTube videos constantly, and I'm just thinking of putting like a watermark that's barely perceptible somewhere in the video for just like 2 seconds, so if it gets uploaded I can go, these bubs just stole my labor.
It's like on a TV or something.
Yeah, because again I did the last one and they were like, love it, all right, let's go to the second one. Scary.
No, but if it is what it is, then that's at least something more to beef up the old resume.
Yeah, but I don't give a shit about this. I'm doing my programming. I'm building a website right now for my portfolio, and it's just like I need some apps. I've already developed a weather app. Something else app. There was a weather app, there was a to-do list, and something else I had done. So I'm like, all right, gonna start doing this on the website, gonna start putting out even more applications. That's I want to do. That's where my bread wants to be buttered.
Did you look into the Focus Hope thing?
Yeah, I looked into it.
Okay.
But again, Python shares a lot with JavaScript. I learned when I was because I first started wanting to learn Python, and I was like, I want to do web development instead, and I kind of like back-end web development. Nobody cares about this. What are we doing? The final Weeble, please.
The final Weeble. That sounds ominous. It's like, and I don't want to end up dead. It's like, oh, that really was the final Weeble.
Hey, I'll be back.
No, don't say that.
No, I'll be back, Weeble.
That's even worse. It's like, no, they won't. No.
See y'all next week with Weeble.
Definitely. Hey, count on it. Set your watch to revisit it. 2 black males found dead in their house shortly after recording podcasts. Like, ugh. That quick, huh?
No suspects.
Open and shut case.
I mean, was that technically the final Weevil since we went afterwards?
No, it wasn't, clearly.
Right? Yeah.
Because it needs to be Weevil and then ended so that Million knows that. Because if it's just the silence, then that's the problem again. Because that's what he was complaining about. So it needs to be Weevil and then end. Like right here, what I'm going to say, Weevil, and then you're going to press the button and end it. Like right, well,
that was fine. No, that was fine.
I understand, but I need to say Weevil and then it ends, just so the month knows, because he was complaining, even though he's not gonna be here for all of this post ramble.
Yeah,
nobody is. I want somebody to. Hey, the secret word is muff and sprinkle cupcakes. Say that in the Discord if you watched it this far. Ain't gonna be one of them, or in the comments. Ain't gonna be one of them motherfuckers.
We should give him something.
No, cause then
channel points.
Channel points. We'll give you channel points.
I'll give you 20,000 channel points. First person.
That's a little much.
Dude, Corey got 100K.
We need to start slowly stripping them from just imperceptible amounts. Just like you steal it from a millionaire, you don't steal 500,000. You steal 1,000.
I'm thinking of, at some point, resetting the economy.
Thanos, boy.
There's some classism right now where people got 80K.
The haves and the ain't got.
And struggling for 400.
Yeah. What did I say? Sprinkle cupcakes or something?
Yeah, I got it.
Sure. Let's go with that. A wee woo. Click.